Hi, it's Brandy Vanderheiden. I have a question for you. How do you know when you're getting better? So it sounds like an obvious question, but for a lot of people, they expect it to be sort of an on or off kind of thing. So I had anxiety and then I didn't have anxiety. But usually it doesn't do it like that. Usually it builds over time and things will change on subtle levels. So I think it really helps when you know what to look for and you can spot the fact that things are changing. And I see a lot of people who've had chronic conditions or a chronic experience of not feeling really good for most of their lives. Maybe they weren't always aware of it, but that's kind of the nature of developmental trauma. And so for them, regulation has to come on board in small increments that your system can begin to integrate. So there are two things that I help people look for. First thing is that there is an increase in the body's ability to self-regulate. So what I mean here are things like digestion improves, you're eating better, maybe sleep gets a little better, although that can also be a difficult symptom for people that changes over time. So then you might break it down into, well, it used to be that it took me an hour to fall asleep, and a couple times last week I fell asleep a little faster. So even just small changes where you look for the pattern, which is the second thing. What is the pattern of your symptoms? And for a lot of people, when you go to a pain clinic or something like that, they will ask you to keep a journal or a log about what your symptoms are doing so they can see changes. And some people really have a problem with that. They don't like it. So even if you just sort of keep a loose idea of what your symptoms are now and then track over time how things change, even in the smallest way, that tells you that regulation is starting to happen. And when regulation happens, your capacity will grow. And I remember this person who came in and she said, you were so right. When I came here, you said, when you really have regulation, it's not going to be something that you're doing. It's something that's just there. And I was like, wow, I didn't remember I'd said that, but it's true. And what she found was she was in the middle of that same old argument with her partner, the same old thing, whatever it is. And what she found was she found herself not reacting in the same old ways. I have to tell you that part of my experience has been working with a therapist who refers people to me. And really, this one day, one person that she referred to my office came in and said, I talked to my therapist and I told her, we were just having our conversation, our regular therapy, and the therapist said, did you see what you just did there? You were able to stay with this really difficult process and you weren't able to do that before. That's Brandy's work. And to me, that's regulation. That's an emerging capacity. And so I think those things can be a little bit harder to spot sometimes. So if you just start to pay attention to changes in symptoms, increasing regulation, that's really going to give you the confidence that you're going in the right direction. So I really want to hear if you've noticed signs that you're improving, how you noticed before the really obvious changes started to come into place. So that'll help encourage other people to know what to look for. So good luck with your healing.